Alright, welcome back to the CyclingTom YouTube channel. We're at day 3 of tour of Dairylands. This is Grafton stage. Obviously done 2 days already. I didn't film the day previous to this, but this is just the GoPro footage that I got from today. Pretty sick course, really. I thought I'd just change these videos up, not always do a vlog, do a little bit. People want to see what goes on in the race and do a little bit more of an analysis and see what I've learnt. What I have learned is that just because you're the Masters and Criterium champ doesn't actually mean that you're going to be able to just come to America and win these crits. It's a lot harder and a lot more technical than it looks, obviously. Anyway, getting into the race, this kind of course is real funny. So this is like an uphill section that kind of goes past this massive fire station to the right of us. And then we do, as you can see, I've got a little map up on the left. And then you kind of hook around this corner, super fast corner. And this goes slightly downhill, and you hook a massive left-hander into this another uphill section here. And these are kind of like the only the real dicey bits on this side of the course. I would say technically this side of the course would be the easiest side. As you'll see soon, you kind of go up this little hill, you hook a right-hander, and then there's like a really long finishing straight. Definitely, probably one of the longest finishing straights I've had so far. Yes, you hook this corner, super nice roads on this one. Some of the other crits I've done in America have had some pretty rough roads, but this road has actually been pretty sick. Yeah, so you kind of fly down here. As you can see, we're hitting like 46, 47k an hour as you head into this. And I'm kind of starting to head towards the front of the pack at the start of these races now. Fly through this corner here, and then this is just a long drag dead straight to the line. And this, every lap was hard. It doesn't matter if you came through an easy lap or a hard lap. Around the backside, through here was always just pretty strung out. So as you can see, first lap, fully strung out. So pretty dicey. So yeah, this is kind of like what it's been like the whole time. You kind of head through this. This is where all the crowd is, and then you get to go into the Dairyland sign, which is pretty sick. And then this is the end. That was like the first lap. So this is the second or the third lap, and I kind of get right towards the front. There's one guy off the front. And I took one of Liam White's. He had like these 5-hour energy shots. Took one of them, and I think it kind of went to my head because I was like, you know what, I'm going to try and go solo, do a break. And I literally had talked about not doing this at the start. I was like, oh, you know, I'll give the sprint a go, And then anyway, I try to like form a break, catch up to these guys. But as you can see, I kind of like weave across the road because no one wants to pull through with me. There's like 3 or 4 of us that have a gap. No one wants to pull through. I was like, well, this isn't going to go anywhere if I'm the only one that's going to have to pull because I'm not the strongest here. So anyway, go past them, get my glory, first time, and I think the only time I go through the start in the first position. Anyway, we fast forward 10 minutes in, and I kind of like drift back to probably like the back to middle third, just to kind of get some shelter. This was, compared to the last 2 days of Dairylands, this power-wise was so much higher than what we had dealt with. I think I ended up normalizing close to 290 today. Just because of that little uphill section. Every other day was a little bit easier, and we didn't go so hard up the hill on the first day either. The first day was definitely probably the easiest, to be honest. I think everyone kind of like got their legs, and now they're actually starting to race pretty hard. So Liam, obviously they're riding the Pro 1 race. He was yelling at me from the sideline to stick on this guy's wheel. I think his name's Jared from Australia, in the roller kit with the red jersey. He seems to just sift at the back the entire race. So I was like, you know what, I'll give it a go. Even though I had done that early attack, I'm just going to sit on this guy's wheel and sift and sift and sift. And he's like, just follow his wheel, follow his wheel. So we're 38 minutes in. We do 50-minute crits here, just to give you some context. So I was like, you know, we've got 12 minutes at this stage to try and get up the road. So I was like, when is this guy going to go? And here we go, 43 minutes in. So we've got, what, 6 minutes up our sleeve. And this is where he goes. And it's right into the back course on the really long downhill one. And I was like, oh, and he just jumped me, and look at that, door closed. And I was like, oh no, like what am I going to do? I was meant to jump on his wheel to get to the front. So the next lap we come through the finishing straight, and everyone on the right hand side sits up, and I jump on this guy's wheel. And this is like the best move that I made, and also the worst move that I made. So I follow him. I go literally past like 30-40 guys, get right to the front. I think there's one guy up the road, there's him, and then me. So I'm third wheel going into the final lap. And then I don't jump on his wheel. I'm not sure why. And then I kind of just sit back, and then bang, swamped in the last. This is the second to last lap. Completely swamped. End up back right where I was, and that's kind of my race over. This is last lap. Get caught behind this crash. This guy's bike gets absolutely annihilated. But yeah, that's kind of like a little bit of a recap of day 3. These crit races are super hard. Like, this is only Cat 2 and 3, but like the great, like, I've been looking at the power difference between us and the Pro 1, and the power is very similar in this grade to them. The average speed's usually like 1 to 2 kilometers an hour slower. I feel like we always race super hard for the first 20 minutes, and then it sits up a little bit, and then we race super hard for the last 20 minutes. So that's kind of like what I've been able to tell out of these 2-3 races. Whereas the Pro 1, I think they've got a lot more teams, so the pace is always on a lot more because they've got guys swapping off like Project Echelon and like. Whereas we don't have that. We've got like a couple guys working together. There's like maybe one team, but that's kind of like the end of this race. But yeah, we're getting better. This is only day 3 of 11. I'm just still trying to learn, and I feel like these guys are a lot more willing to take risks, and they also don't have to be in Europe to do videos in another month. So like when that door closed in that thing, I probably could have put my wheel in the gutter and got back up to where I needed to be on that second to last lap to get to the front of me in a better position. But like, I don't want to die. This isn't worth it for me because I've got a lot more to do on this trip. But I am really enjoying it. The atmosphere at these races is absolutely sick. And the Kiwi boys are doing a super good job from Mitre Q New Zealand Cycling Project. So they've got a pretty good video coming out tomorrow with the boys at the second one. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, definitely hit the subscribe button down below. And like this video if you have not already. Cheers, guys.